quit digging it up. That thing is never gonna grow. Every time it almost gets a root, you dig it out of the ground and stop it all over again. You've killed that plant more times than you brought it to life. Have you ever been told that story too? I cannot forget the time that I forget now if it was my mom or my grandmother. It was probably my grandmother that was watching how I was taking care of a plant. And plant isn't really the right word. It was one of those things that you do like when you're in school where they give you the little plastic cup and you put the seed in it and you pack down, it's got all that really good, like nutrient soil and all that kind of stuff. And you take it home and you sit it on your shelf and you're so excited because you're going to grow a plant. Right. How freaking boring was that? I mean, of all the cool things you do, like, okay, if you took the potato and you stuck the toothpicks in it, and immersed it partially in water, in a few days, you could start seeing, you had to have, the ones that had the little, like, sprout thingies growing out of it, In a few days, you started seeing some, roots and stuff growing, right? But, with this boring cup sitting on your counter. It wasn't doing anything. You couldn't see anything but a cup of dirt. Boring, right? I know many of you have gone through that same exact thing. And I remember digging it up and looking, and there was nothing, just a seed still out there. Or you dig it up and you'd see maybe just the teeniest tiny little crack in the seed. And you tried to bury it real quick. I don't honestly remember if that particular little seed ever did grow. I remember multiple times as a younger child, planting things and having little plants grow. I also remember killing a lot of plants throughout the course of my life. I got to the point where I really started loving those spider plant, the ones that they just keep kind of spidering off of them because they're really hard to kill. And they're a lot of fun to watch them just grow and they kind of sprout the arm off and then the arm sprouts off a whole other spider off of it. And those were fun. And getting a little plant, that already had a little, even just the tiniest little seedling popping out and watching it grow, that's kind of fun. But a seed in the ground, just dirt, a cup full of dirt. It's boring, isn't it? And all too often, our lives kind of feel that way. Now, I know you're asking me, what the heck, Steve? Why are we talking about seeds in dirt? Well, honestly, and I'm just taking you through my day, right? Because that's what I'm kind of here more than anything else to do. Honestly, what I was thinking of was, yesterday was Good Friday. We're celebrating the whole Easter. Today would be the day of, just Jesus in the grave. Everybody's crying, the whole entirety of everything that everybody believed in has died. And I think a lot of times when it comes to our business, I think that very same thing is true. We've planted the seeds, we've done the work. And much like that stupid cup of dirt, it is the most boring thing going on. Boring the absolute heck out of us. Because the truth, hey Mickey, glad to have you here with us. The truth is that you're not seeing anything happen. X-Balls, glad to have you here with us. You know you've done the work. You've planted the right seeds. You've given the talk. You've done the sales calls. You've written the book. You've done all of those kind of things. And your business is not doing like, and let's be real, what you're really comparing it to is this other person over here, right? I do it. I do it all the time. I've done it at least twice already today. Okay, so no judgment. Don't feel bad about it. But what we want to do is go on ChatGPT or other AI and try to figure out what am I doing wrong? What did I do? What can I change? How can I fix this? How can I address this? Um, yeah, I gotta change up this microphone. It's totally a mess these days, isn't it? Thanks for letting me know, though, Nikki. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those kind of situations where you really, really got to have some patience, but more importantly, you gotta have some faith and trust and belief in what's going on because things are coming together. Things are going to work out better, more than you ever dreamed or imagined is possible. And sometimes what it takes is some rest, some sitting back, and it definitely means belief. Belief that if you will just let what you've planted now take root, that you are doing incredibly amazing things in this world, and a massive, mighty tree is going to grow out of what you planted. And what I want to know, though, is what kind of things have you done the same thing with? Have you planted the seed? And it could be real, it could be a literal seed. You could tell me stories about when you were a kid and you did that same thing. Or, things that are happening in your life right now that you keep evaluating them rather than just letting them grow. I'd love to hear your stories too. Please comment below. I look forward to hearing all about them. I'm in regards to anything. I mean, it could be your dreams in life, Nikki. It could be literally plants, that you planted and not giving them time to sprout. I'm here to just get to know y'all and to really, truly just talk about something that we all have in common. So how about that? Make a comment. Let me know. I look forward to it. I'm here every day, and I look forward to getting to know you. Thanks for all that you do. I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved, and you have a great week.